Hi everyone, welcome back to Shoes and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing 4 rules for the ways to find hobbies which genuinely bring you joy. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So there's a lot of talk about hobbies in the productivity community, and sometimes I feel like we over-focus on what we do for hobbies and not on what hobbies do for us. So there's a tendency to really productivitize hobbies and be like, oh, you got to make money from them, or you've got to make them as productive as possible. And yeah, I feel that, but also hobbies are meant to be enjoyed, and hobbies are meant to be just kind of relished in, and they're meant to make you happy. That's the whole point of doing something for fun. Okay, hobbies are things that you do for fun, and yes, they can also be for self-development, but that's to an extent. You're supposed to be doing hobbies for fun. Okay, so how do we find hobbies which genuinely bring us joy, that we look forward to doing? We're like, oh, when I get home, I get to do this hobby. What's this hobby? Okay, how do we find that? I have 4 rules. And the first rule is that you just have to try a bunch of new stuff. Seriously, a lot. Okay, look at the overarching selection of hobbies like you would look at, I don't know, flowers in a market. Okay, maybe you have a favorite flower, but maybe if you go to a market with lots and lots of flowers, you'll discover some flowers that you didn't even know existed, or some flowers that you didn't know grew in your country, or some flowers that you knew existed but they're there in a new color. Okay, and you'll be like, wow, there are all these flowers and I like this flower, so I'm going to take it home with me. Okay, so you might also go and see a flower that everyone's talking about, and you see it and you're like, I really don't see this one, that's not my flower, I don't vibe with that. Okay, so try a bunch of new stuff. Seriously, a lot. Okay, you can just try out, you can go to one class, or you can try something out for one day, or you want to try a new craft, you can buy just one little pack and just try a little bit of it. Okay, so it's really important to be an amateur and to dabble in stuff a lot, because that way you can really kind of focus on finding where your natural interest lies, and you get to discover new things, and you get to be like, oh, that looks cool, and then you try it and you're like, actually that's not so cool. Or then you try something, you're like, I don't know about this one, and then you try it and you're like, oh hell yeah, that's my thing. Okay, so try a bunch of new stuff, you might be surprised. Rule number 2, don't be afraid to be bad at something. Okay, I see so many people, and this has been conversations with friends, with some of you guys on the channel, I see it in myself, I see it with family, whatever, lots and lots of people are afraid to be bad at things, and I feel this, I sympathize, but don't be afraid to be bad at stuff. Okay, if you're scared of being bad at stuff, you miss out on so much fun. I have done so many things that I was genuinely terrible at, and laughably terrible. Okay, but the fun lay in me being able to laugh at myself. And you can be unskilled and still enjoy it. I always use this example, but I'm going to use it again. If you filter my videos by oldest, you will be able to watch my first ever video, and it sucks. It genuinely sucks. It sucks so badly. The lighting sucks. My outfit sucks. I'm not even sure that counts as an outfit. I didn't have a script. I wasn't prepared. Okay, I don't think it even has a thumbnail. Does it have a thumbnail? I'm gonna have to go back and check. But it sucked, okay? But I was like, I'm aware this is gonna suck, and I don't care, because I want to start a YouTube channel, and this is the way I'm gonna do it, okay? And that was one of my hobbies, and here I am, I'm still doing the hobby, okay? And I enjoy it so much. Genuinely, I really do enjoy connecting with you guys. So don't be afraid to be bad at something. Being bad at something is how you get good at something. And maybe you'll be bad at something the whole time, and it will be okay because you had fun, okay? You might take a pottery class, and every single pot you ever make is wonky. But you had fun making the pot, okay? So that's the whole point. Don't be afraid to be bad at something. Some of the most fun can be had when you're bad at something and you just don't care. The next rule number 3, is pay attention to your gut instinct. When you are trying to work out which hobbies genuinely bring you joy, don't force it. How do you feel? Okay, I've made other videos on how to trust your gut instinct, how to understand your gut instinct. So if you want to check those out, go and do that. But yeah, pay attention to your gut instinct, because you will know if a hobby's right for you, and you will know if it's not. And it really is about how you feel. You can't logic your way into it. You can't logic your way out of it. It's really a gut feeling. It's a heart thing. It's not a brain thing, okay? So pay attention to your gut instinct. If this hobby makes you feel excited, happy, joyful, oh my God, I get to do this hobby, like, it makes you feel energized, like you want to, like, get off the sofa and couch and, like, get out there and do the hobby, okay? Or you want to put energy into it. That's a hobby you should pursue. But if you're like, oh no, I have to do this hobby, like I've got to go out of the house and I've got to do this, or I've got to do that, or I've got to, like, pick up my computer and turn it on, and, like, I've got to go, it's not the hobby for you. Okay, so pay attention to your gut instinct. And finally, rule number 4, this is also really important. Pay attention to the community around the hobby. Are these people nice? Now, some hobbies are inherently more social than others. Now, some hobbies can be, like, completely solitary. Like, obviously, making YouTube videos for me is quite a solitary endeavor because I'm the one in the videos. But, you know, a lot of YouTubers, like, they do collabs, and there's, like, a lot of forums online, some of which I'm a member of, where they discuss, like, tips and tricks, and, you know, oh, I uploaded my 30th video today, yay, congratulations, well done. So pay attention to the community around the hobby. Are they nice? Because you can often tell a lot about the hobby by the people who do it. And sure, there can be nice people who do hobbies that suck, and there can be people who are really, like, terrible, who somehow have hobbies which are generally nice, okay? So it's not a hard and fast rule, but pay attention to the community around the hobby, because it does give you a kind of an idea about what kind of person does that hobby, and sometimes what kind of person that hobby turns you into. Okay, so pay attention to the community around the hobby, especially if it's a very social one, but not always. It doesn't have to be a social hobby, it can be any hobby. And to an extent, if the hobby is great but the community sucks, you can probably just distance yourself from it, unless it's like a hobby where the community is kind of integral to it. But if it's one that you can kind of do on your own, then okay, sure, take this with a pinch of salt, but pay attention to the community around the hobby. It's a good kind of litmus test for what kind of person does this hobby? Is this the kind of person that I want to be? Alright, that is how to find hobbies which genuinely bring you joy. If you are not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.